Facebook has had a number of high-profile exits in recent months. WhatsApp founders Jan Koum, Brian Acton separately left Facebook within the last year as well. Koum, who left the company in April, reportedly took issue with Facebook's approach to data privacy and encryption. Facebook, remember, purchased WhatsApp back in 2014. So for more on this angle, we're joined by Jeffrey Sonnenfeld from Yale School of Management. Does Facebook have a talent drain problem? Jeff?
Yeah, they do, Sarah, and thanks for the question. As I usually agree 100% with Scott Galloway. This time, I'd say he's far more right than wrong, but not 100% right. Creative talent can be retained. There are a lot of people in companies that have lost their talent. Apple has retained a remarkable collection of brilliant people for decades that are highly creative. You can find companies that have acquired the whole company. A lot of the reasons that that Disney was buying into LucasArts or buying into Pixar or buying into Marvel, they've retained that talent. They even have Stan Lee, creator of Spider-Man and Hulk and Fantastic Four and all the rest. He's still there at age 95, not to mention the actual functioning CEO, a guy who's been there since the 90s. You can, and they're very creative shop. You can find places like Walmart that brought in the founders of Jet.com and Bonobos and things. They're still in there. The whole teams pretty much are there. And it's the same period of time. And UPS, even a real estate company, Lennar, have people in the top positions that came in through acquisitions. They can work. But a lot of companies mess up. We saw in the 1980s, these financial supermarkets bought some very boutique-y creative places and destroyed them. We've seen media companies do this, and we've seen it in life sciences destroy the talent they went out to buy. But it can be done.
Jeff, do you feel like these founders, particularly the two Instagram founders, the latest to depart, are embarrassed to be associated and employed by Facebook after all these data privacy problems? And do you think that's something that could proliferate more widely across the company?
Yes, and that's the part where I agree with Scott. But whether or not this is going to go the way of Friendster or MySpace, or even Yahoo, I'm not so sure. But this is not a good day, I would not think, to be buying Facebook. It's a harbinger of both a sense of a culture shift, where the sense of courage and creativity seems to be displaced with something that has a lot more to do with ambition and arrogance. And people are embarrassed, of course, about the reputation hits, if not the undermining of democracy, the loss of privacy protection issues, and the lack of candor and transparency by both Sheryl Sandberg and Mark Zuckerberg. Companies make mistakes, but their repair job has been very disappointing, and I think that's upset people at WhatsApp, and that certainly upset people inside here. So, but also it's the intrusion, that things were not reciprocal. They were promotion, cross-promotion was supposed to happen equally. There were Instagram promotions where they were finding it wasn't happening so much coming from Facebook, the referrals they used to get, but they're still promoting Facebook. They're fighting over the video sections as to who's going to prevail.
I mean, I hear you. You have a long list of criticisms, and they're fair and valid. But on the talent question, with these Instagram founders, a lot of people have made the point that after 6 years, that's actually a long time for founders to stay inside a bigger company that's acquired it. And this is just a natural sort of process. And if you look at most acquisitions in Silicon Valley and beyond, the founders are out in less than 6 years.
If we're looking at Microsoft, they lost a lot of them. If we're looking at Apple, if we're looking at Merck, they're able to hold on to these kinds of entrepreneurs. At Disney, they're able to hold on to the entrepreneurs. It depends on how great the management is. But some companies do drive it out because of ego and ambition and bureaucracy. And that's, but it's not a necessity. You take a look. Why are these people over the same period of time still very much embedded and creative inside Disney? Bob Iger knows how to manage creative talent. They have great sort of cross-pollination of ideas, but they still have independence. They still have autonomy at Disney, which is what keeps that as a creative shop. And it isn't the intrusion and imperial dictums of Mark Zuckerberg. It doesn't. It's not preordained. They have to leave.